My camera set up yet, but all right. All set. Got my energy drink all set up for you. Those of you guys who've been watching for a long time. I used to do that a lot, where I would I would drink an energy drink on stream. Yeah, bang. Yeah, this one's actually it's Monster Ultra Paradise. Adjust that there. It was good. We missed last week because it was kind of a holiday. It was Father's Day, so we couldn't really get enough people for a tournament, but we're back on track now. All right. So it looks like we're going to be having some people set up. We're getting the right first game all set up here. So let me go into network section. Get to take a look at our brackets. We got a bunch of good top players there. I'm excited for that. We got Honnou. We've got IsaacJ. Skeletal Minion. It's his first time entering. And yeah, so looking up to be a pretty good tournament. Look at that. Sonny, too, of course. Sonny's amazing. Sonny's been playing for such a long time online. Okay, so Honnou plays a lot of characters. He plays Justice, he plays Eno, but online, he's been playing a lot of Cliff. So we'll see how that goes. Looks like Optimal is an Anji player. Anji's a pretty strong character. You know, you just gotta get used to a lot of stuff from him. So there is a timer online. You gotta choose your character quickly. Testament! Honnou picking Testament. Low tier god here. Alright. So we got Testament versus Anji. You can see Honnou setting some traps up in the back, but Anji's not really moving forward. Stuck in a corner now. Going forward a little bit more. Once Testament gets hit, all of his trees go away, but his nets do not go away. So something you got to keep in mind. Nice hit there from Optimal. Doing some interesting setup stuff there. Anji has a lot of guard points, which means he kind of blocks in the middle of the attack during certain sections of his attack. And if he blocks a move with that, then he'll end up he can do a follow-up. So those skulls that Testament leaves curse your opponent, and they make it so that the Crow goes after them. Crow has a few different attacks. Nice combo set up here from Honnou. You can see Optimal definitely still has the lead, the life lead at least. Nice setup there with Master of Puppets getting some extra skulls. So what you see there is he's doing those trees. Those trees do not go away even after he's been hit, because they're the powered up versions of the trees. You set another one down. The way to get rid of those trees is to jump over them. If you move over their X position, then you'll end up dismissing the tree. You can see Optimal is still concerned that the tree's there on the far left side. And there he goes. It was well to be, you know, it was smart to be aware of it, but he did only have about 10 seconds left and probably could have outpaced Honnou near the end of that. Good hits there, continuing up there. Oh, couldn't quite finish and go with an on finisher. Nice setup there with the butterfly. You'll see that Optimal's now stuck in the corner, getting hit with the curse from the Crow there. Now the Crow has, I believe, 3 different attacks, but 5 different patterns on how those attacks go out. And if the key to really playing Testament is knowing how those patterns work. Like if you see, oh, okay, it attacked with the feathers as its first attack, then you know what's coming up next. And what's important for that is because the Crow has an overhead attack. The overhead attack, since it's a projectile, technically, you can attack with the overhead and a low at the same time and go for an unblockable setup. So it's something you should be aware of when you're fighting against Testament, or especially if you're fighting as Testament. You want to go for those unblockables. Good setup for a curse there. So you see Crow went for a dive and then for a second dive, so it's one of the 5 different patterns. Cursed him right at the end. Oh, Gold Burst didn't do anything. You cannot get killed by poisons, but he was on 1 hit point left. Honnou ended up taking the first game. So you're seeing them pick Zep over and over. This stage is one of the 3 stages that are considered the optimal for online lag. Oh, another bad burst at the top there. Zep is one of them. Castle is another, and Frasco is the other one. So typically they only pick those 3 stages when we're playing online. Interesting thing about burst, you know, you always see people go, oh, bad burst, but a lot of it doesn't look like it's going to be a bad burst when you start. Bursts have to wait for all your block stop to happen, and they also have to wait for certain other criteria. So if you see yourself getting hit and you instantly press burst, it might not happen until, you know, like several frames afterwards, in which case it would be a bad position. Plus, it also lifts you up into the sky a bit higher than normal. So if somebody has a burst that maybe 1 frame previous could have worked, it looks like a really bad burst the 2nd frame. As you see Honnou applying that pressure in the corner, he did set a tree down, 2 different trees. Again, he moved over the X position of the axis, so it is going to get rid of that tree. Sandwiched by 2 different dogs. You can see Honnou doing some nice FRC setups there, even though it's online. Always impressed by that. I always got to point those out. Another poison. Again, poison will not kill you. It'll only bring you down to 1 hit point. Honnou ends up taking it 2-0. Alright. Let me leave this here. We're going to join the next one. Let's go to our brackets to see the updated from that. There has been some matches offline, so we'll see those while we're waiting for the next match. You can see the updated bracket so far. We had Honnou just beat Optimal, and off-stream Sonny beat Lexi. So Honnou and Sonny are now confirmed for the next winner spots. Right now we're doing FeelAFear and Skeletal Minion, just waiting for FeelAFear to join here. And Isaac and SleepSheepie will be next after this one. Alright, here we go. So we have Skeletal Minion on the left and FeelAFear on the right. Skeletal Minion, very strong APA player, probably the best APA player in North America right now. If you're interested in seeing more of Skeletal Minion play, there's a really awesome Kumite that he did back over at Otaku. You can go check that out. Looks like we're getting a fair amount of lag here, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. Skeletal Minion still has not been able to transform into Muroha mode. So the way Abba works is Abba ends up, there we go, transforming, and then that transformation makes her a really powerful character. Huge sweeping moves, very fast attacks. However, critical weakness is it's on a time limit, and that time limit gets reduced every time Abba gets knocked down by about 1/3. So a good setup there, doing the follow-up on that super. You don't see that super too much. So that right there was Skeletal Minion transforming out on intentionally, just because he did not want the timer to run out. There's two different ways you can de-summon. One of them is with a blood pack, like you saw, and the other is with a command grab. So things to consider. FeelAFear using Little Eddie. Little Eddie ran out of health there, so you see that, and now he can't use him until he gets charged back all the way. Pretty close for both of them. Skeletal cannot change out. He's trying to do all of that. Messed it up. FeelAFear took the first round. Good poke, killing Little Eddie, desummoning it for a while. Now Skeletal Minion just needs to get in, using a blood pack to transform. So the basic flow chart of what you see a lot of Abbas do is they'll transform, and then they'll try and get 50% meter before they don't have, before their transformation ends. If they can get 50% meter, they can transform into Goku Muroha mode, and Goku is a much more powerful version. Plus, it ends up replenishing their entire time limit. So definitely something that's worthwhile. Set up in the puddle. The puddle's really good as an ender because Eddie ends up getting like half of the meter back for Little Eddie before the puddle's over. So you do use up a lot of time in order to get Little Eddie back. So you can see all of that guard meter just crushing. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, Skeletal Minion probably is not too familiar with playing online. Does a lot of really good offline games. He's got impeccable execution. You see him during combos, and if he loses, he's just like, it's gonna kill him. So he's really good at getting that down. But the just having this kind of execution online is probably much more difficult. So FeelAFear won the first game. It is 2 out of 3. They did end up switching sides. FeelAFear is now on the left, and Skeletal Minion's on the right. I bet this is kind of interesting for Skeletal because you can actually pick Frasco in this version, and it's even one of the 3 stages that we like to have. So it's kind of neat being able to play on a stage like this. Okay, let's see how they do here. Looks like the lag's still pretty bad here. So you saw FeelAFear there bursting to get out. Nice knockdown set up there. That's going to take away about 1/3 of the meter from Abba. Good blocking here. Now, Eddie has a lot of really good options to knock down against Abba. Invite Hell, his drill, is a really good option. Okay, going into Goku Muroha mode, definitely the right pick. Like I said, with the path that you want to go, just kind of a flow chart that you do as Abba, you transform, then you try and get 50% meter within your transformation to go into Goku Muroha mode. The Muroha mode in general, both Muroha and Goku Muroha, end up consuming life whenever you hit your opponent. So it is a double-edged mode, as they call it, where you end up losing health while you're attacking them, but if you transform back, then you end up gaining health back. So that's why you can't be in that mode for that long. Even if your time limit's okay, your health is another time limit to be considering. Nice setup there. It's going to go into a blood pack. There we go. Perfect timing. You saw all that health that he regained right there. Knockdown into a command grab, which is going to transform him into normal Muroha. Good blocks. Oh, you saw there that Eddie did the exhaustion, which is the headache force break move. And since Little Eddie was dead, it didn't do anything. Big waste of meter. Skeletal's much better in his in his vibe now. He got the first round. He's doing really well this round. He doesn't have any more transformation blood packs left. If he wants to transform, he has to do it with the command grab. But didn't need it. Ended up killing in normal mode. Skeletal takes this one. It's now 1-1. So you're asking what song this is. This is Ride in Pain by it's Amelia's theme. I don't know if I caught you at this point or if you'd asked like last song, but there we go. Okay, starting off with some good range. Stuck in a corner, not a good spot for Abba. She has such poor movement right there. Just trying to escape using avoidance. Couldn't quite do it. Nice chance for a blood pack. There we go. This is a chance now that Skeletal can do to get out. Good blocks on Little Eddie. Wow, perfect from FeelAFear. Again, stuck in the corner. Little Eddie's gone. Skeletal now has a chance to make it up. Gets 50% meter. Can go into Goku Moroha mode now at this point. Definitely going to do that. Couldn't combo after it. The hitbox on Goku Moroha is something wild. If you take a look at it, it's much bigger than it looks. And it's such a good move as just like it's invul and all this other kind of stuff. It's great. Oh, that's going to be it. Good burst to save his life. Using another blood pack to get out there, killing Little Eddie. Both of them are, oh no! Force break drill, got him. And that's going to be it. FeelAFear takes it 2-0. Like I said too, if you're interested in getting into ABBA and just understanding the character a little bit more, Skeletal Minion's Kumite is such a great resource for all of that. All the Kumites that we've been doing, that's kind of an amazing resource for you to watch so you can see how this character deals with other characters. You know, a Kumite is where we just put one person, sit them down in a chair, and make them play everybody we can possibly find. Like, hey, get in this hotel room and challenge this person to 3 out of 5, and then just do non-stop 3 out of 5s against everybody for, 3 hours or whatever long it's going to take. And it's exhausting for the person playing, but man, you get so much experience playing a Kumite that you wouldn't really have had. Exactly, Lexi. It was like during my Kumite that we had, they're just like, oh hey, look who we got, and it's Hell Monkey. It's like, fuck. I don't want to fight Hell Monkey. Hell Monkey does like FRC Ozonsons on command. It's like, Jesus Christ. We've got IsaacJ and SleepSheepie. SleepSheepie on the left, IsaacJ on the right. IsaacJ is Texas Bridget player, repping the Texas scene. And SleepSheepie, we've got here playing Anji. I'm not doing Under Construction. I don't even have it on my playlist. Why would I put Under Construction on my playlist? Alright, so here we go. IsaacJ starting strong. Playing some really good keep away there with Bridget. Definitely what Bridget's known for. So we got what, 2 Anjis in the tournament tonight? SleepSheepie and Optimal. So good avoidance of that burst. It's really hard to burst against Bridget. You know, a lot of stuff just is not burst safe because you're not hitting anything if you burst. Nice Roman cancel on that, hitting with jump D. Little point of trivia, there's only 2 moves in the game that cross up when your opponent is flush in the corner, meaning they're completely stuck in the corner. And one of them is Bridget's jump D. That's because Bridget's jump D will actually push them out of the corner, and then the second hit will hit them on the other side. It is a move that has cross-up protection, which means if you were holding block on the first hit, then you'll still keep blocking even though it mixes you up and moves back and forth. So you don't really need to worry about that. But if you hold Flawless Defense in this game, it always removes cross-up protection. So you gotta be really careful if you're dealing with Flawless Defense when you're doing that. So good setup there. You saw a little byproduct there of the guard points that Anji has. So that's really cool. IsaacJ taking a perfect on that game. We got another one here. If IsaacJ can win this, he'll move on. But 1 point for IsaacJ. It's really hard dealing with a Bridget if you're not familiar with how Bridget works. But you know, that kind of goes with the majority of characters in this game. Every character is so unique. They've got so many different mechanics they have to worry about. Oh, nice just raw dust, but couldn't follow up with that. So you see Anji trying to play keep away, but that's not the game he wants to play against Bridget. Bridget, you got to get in there and catch him somehow. Force break on sounds like it'd be working really well for Bridget because you move so much higher in the air. I believe though in this game the way air unblockables work is they're not technically unblockable, which means you'd be able to slash back it in the air. I think. I haven't really tested that out, but I think that'd work. If you had a force break on in the air, you could probably slash back it. So good lockdown there from Isaac. So you can see Anji going for quite a few Fujins. Seeing if that's going to work, but not quite. Just, you know, like you said, he can't get in. Force break on, if he can get the meter, would be perfect against Bridget. Losing the first round, though. Get to IsaacJ. Nice cross up there. Ooh, getting hit. Oh, that's an accident. Accidentally pressed all 4 buttons. That's gotta be because he had a macro on. And now he's stuck. He's stuck with it. And ends up taking a throw just because he had to switch out from the IK mode. An interesting point of tech I've seen done by Honnou, he's actually done it successfully, is you knock your opponent down after you're in IK mode, and then you instant kill them while they're waking up. And because Anji's IK, it comes from off the screen and it hits them in the middle, you can't tell if it's going to hit from the right or the left. So you can actually do a useful IK from Anji if you're doing it the right way. But IsaacJ ended up taking this one 2-0. Yeah, I see you guys talking in chat. There's some interesting, you know, IK kind of setups that you can do. Baiken has one of them. Because Baiken has her unblockable curse, where when you hit them with the green curse, it ends up making it so they can't block the next move for 4 seconds, and you can IK them from that. So that's something you can do. It's not all that viable. There's a lot of trickery involved. You cannot go into IK mode before you do the curse because you lose your meter, so you can't do the 25% force break. But if your opponent doesn't know it, you can do some setups. It's just not too viable. So here we go. We've got FeelAFear and Honnou. Honnou picking his online favorite of Cliff. So that splash move actually has a bigger range when it hits at the floor if he starts up higher in the air. So based on his height, it actually has different effects. Ooh, burst right on that. That was a little bit of risky burst because he could have just hit Little Eddie instead and not really hit Big Eddie. That was a little risky too. Honnou used all of his air options in the air, which is a little tough to do. You know, you're putting yourself a little open there when you do that. Stuck in the corner. Not really a good spot for Cliff to be. And that's going to be it. First round goes to FeelAFear. Good stuff there. I love seeing good Eddie play. We don't really see too much of it here in SoCal. But there's a lot of good Eddies across North America, too. You've got Beautiful Dude, you've got A-Stat. A lot of good players. Sonny, of course. Sonny's in this tournament. We haven't had a chance to see Sonny play yet. Nice air throw. Cliff has a lot of charging moves, and the point of like he's holding the move and then can let go of the button to make it activate. It's not an uncommon kind of mechanic that you see with certain characters in certain games. Definitely a character you'll see that with is like Fiona in Arcana Heart, where it's just like big massive sword that you let go of the button and you do the attack with. Good setup there. Oh, bouncing up and recovering. Not doing a splat like I thought I was going to do. That's going to get hit. Nice FRC. I thought for sure Cliff was going to get hit by that drill, but the FRC saved his life. Good job there from Honnou. Good setup there. Cliff is really good at doing overheads from jumps on the way up. You don't really see that too much from other characters, mostly because the arc afterwards doesn't really lead to much, but Cliff has some good stuff that leads from that. So Little Eddie is dead. FeelAFear not in a good spot. Honnou's going to take the first game there. There we go. Setting up for the second game. Sticking with the same characters so far. Nice air throw. Cliff has really solid air throw option there. Feel a little bit of lag going in here. Those drills are really solid. You know, they're always going to hit low, of course. Man. Little Eddie's H is just knocking him out of the park there. Now again, when you hit Big Eddie, it unsummons Little Eddie, but it won't get rid of any of Little Eddie's life. So Little Eddie still has, is summonable even though the meter's not completely full yet. There we go, another anti-air with Little Eddie. Setting up more. Look at that. Look at that damage already just from a quick 6 hit. A little bit of a trade there. Honnou trying to make it back up, doing a big Bakumon from his taunt. Yeah, I love that move. Nape Saddle is so effective. You know, he was able to just go right over that drill from Eddie, and also its hitbox is really weird looking. It's hard to deal with. It crosses you up very easily. Does not have crosser protection, so you can get mixed up from it very easily. It's just tough to deal with in general. Good stuff there with more Nape Saddle. Ooh, got thrown right on Wake Up. That's something you see a lot of in this game, because throw is just such a powerful option. It's 0 frames effectively, and you just beat pretty much any attack that comes out there unless the attack is specifically throwable. Good kill there from Honnou. One thing I didn't comment on when it happened, but I think Honnou has gotten 3 different powered up Bakuman respects so far. That's where the N from Bakuman is a bigger font, so it's like this bigger rock move. It's actually one of the only moves I can think of that is different depending on which side of the screen you're on. Because if you're doing it from the right side, then the N is the 4th hit, but if you're doing it on the left side, then the N is the 1st hit. So it is something that is affected by what side of the screen you're coming from. That super has a very deceptive looking range. It does hit, I think, all the way across the screen, even if you're zoomed out, but just barely. Depends on the width of your character. Honnou ends up taking it 2-0. Go ahead and look up our brackets while we load up the next game here. Honnou won that one 2-0. And we're good to go. If you're interested in getting into Eddie, Sonny here actually had a kumite over at EVO 2018. One of my favorite kumites. I had so much fun. And you can tell just the fun we had in the room. Because we didn't actually record the kumite using like a capture device. It was just someone holding their cell phone. But you can hear everybody like cheering and yelling about it and everything like that. So you can tell how much of a blast these things are on the side. Sonny, I'd say his biggest strength is just how well he can set up unblockables. I mean, you saw right there the reaction he just did where he ended up blocking the move from Bridget in the middle of his own block string. So Sonny's a very strong player. Also, very, very top-notch online player. He's been playing online on PSN back when this first came out for Plus R. So, massive online player. Definitely one of the main online monsters you'll see. Good setup there. Going for more of a combo. Finishing with the puddle, and that might kill. Couldn't quite get enough hits. Oh, but ends up getting it because Isaac didn't end up blocking low there. First point goes to Sonny. Good hit there. Counter hit, but couldn't get anything off of that. Oh, nice hit there. Look at that damage. It's all because of the guard meter cranking up that high. I mean, he didn't really do too many hits, but man, that did so much damage. Sonny has 2 full bars of little Eddie meter here. Good setup there, going for an overhead, but couldn't do anything after it because Bridget didn't have any meter for Roman cancel. You gotta be really careful that Sonny doesn't set up an unblockable. He was going for something there, but Bridget ran away just in time. Sonny did get the first game. And they're going to be doing a quick side switch here, so we change the names. And Sonny won the first game here. If you're interested in watching more Bridget play, there was a Bridget kumite for Mahoko that we did. And Mahoko just dominated nearly everybody. I don't know if he got like perfect score or if he, if he beat everybody. I forgot, but you can see all that too. That's on my channel for the Mahoko kumite. We had that one at CEO Otaku back in 2019. Look at that, going for the 5D. I always say when you're blocking Eddie in those massive block strings that he does, just be calm, be patient, and block low the whole time unless you see 6K. 6K is going to be that overhead. He does do, on occasion, if he sees you're always blocking 6K, then he might do like a jump up and hit you on startup from that jump, but you can't really follow too much from that. He was doing 5D, but Eddie's 5D is much more easy to discern, I think. So just look for that 6K. It's a very obvious overhead input, unlike some of Testament stuff. Oh, that was a cool setup. I haven't seen something like that where he puts up the puddle and just does that move there. Nice hit. That's going to hurt. Bridge is almost stunned, but it's not going to matter. His health's almost out. Look at that. He's breaking the law to hide underneath little Eddie. and just doing some good solid attacks there. Sonny ends up taking it 2-0. Let's go back to our bracket here, and we'll wait and see who we got coming up next. Lexi playing Biken tonight. Lexi has been known to be kind of picking and choosing a bunch of different types of characters, whether it's Justice or some other characters, but Biken's kind of been a favorite for Lexi. So we'll see how they do here. Good setup there, going straight for the low after doing the high jump H. So you saw right there that the counter hit was eaten by Little Eddie. That's definitely a huge guard advantage that you want to have as Eddie, where Biken can't do her guard cancels because it'll just go through and you won't get hit as your main character. So you can see Lexi playing very cautiously. Good setup there with the dashing tatami mat. Stuck in a corner. Good setup there using the kick. Now Biken does have a ton of extra meter here. 100% meter. So can do some stuff like Baku cancels, but wasn't able to. FeelAFear takes the first game. Good setup there with Suzerain, running forward through all those attacks. Suzerain's a little bit risky against Eddie because Suzerain does not block low. Therefore, any of those drills are going to be vulnerable. You know, Suzerain will be vulnerable to us. So it's a little bit risky to do against Eddie specifically. The other characters too. Oh, nice hit there. So stuck in a corner, not able to get too much out. So you see, Eddie is going into the air to block a lot of moves. Biken doesn't have any air guard cancels, so that's a very strong option. If you're fighting Biken in the air, then Biken lost all that advantage of those guard cancels. Good backdash there from FeelAFear. So Lexi's doing a lot of jump in, jump H, and also a lot of jump in tatami mats. Jump in slash is a really good option if you can use those. And if you're hitting your opponent with a jump kick in the air, you can actually use that. That's her only double jump cancelable move. So if you land on an opponent, you attack, you jump kick, then you can mix up by either landing for a low or jumping again and going for an overhead. So that is something to consider too. Good block after Yozansen. The trick there with Yozansen too, it's got ground recovery, landing recovery. You don't see this with too many characters, but a few characters have it. You do the special move in the air. You can block in the air all the way down, but then as soon as you land on the ground, then you can't block anymore. And for those moves, if you press a button on your way down, then it will get rid of that that recovery. So that's kind of what you want to do if you want to be doing some of those moves a little bit safer. Again, Biken has a ton of meter here. It's going to be a full just about here. Part of Biken's strongest mix-up is her Tiger Knee Yozansen, which at the fastest point can be a 9-frame overhead. However, it's not safe to do unless you have enough meter to Roman cancel it. So you'll see a lot of Bikens won't go for Tiger Knee Yozansen unless they have enough meter to Roman cancel. But when you've got that 100% meter, you can do it. You can Roman cancel, and if they end up blocking, you Roman cancel to block their follow-up, or if they get hit, you Roman cancel to do a full combo afterwards. So definitely something to keep in mind. Looked like Lexi was just sitting on a lot of meter there. Biken has a lot of great ways to just burn meter, and you want to use those when you're getting above 50%, because otherwise you're just gaining it and you're not really using it. But FeelAFear ended up taking the first game here. Let's see if Lexi can come back here. FeelAFear was playing pretty strong there. It's really tough fighting against Biken if you don't know how to fight against a Biken. I feel like I say that against every character, though. It's like it's tough to fight against Abba if you haven't fought an Abba. It's tough to fight against Justice if you haven't fought a Justice, or a Cliff, or an Eddie, or an Anji. It feels like that's just the whole game. But Baiken in particular, especially, because she's got just this weird, unique mechanic of the guard canceling that you have to worry about all the time. To compensate it for it, though, she has really terrible defense. Not the worst, it's not Chip or Melia bad, but it is third. So FeelAFear ends up taking that round. So I believe with those drills, Invite Hell from Eddie, only the first hit of any of them is low. The normal ones I don't think do any more than one hit, but the Force Break does multiple hits. And that one is only the first hit's low. See right there, that's another part of using Little Eddie as a shield. That's definitely a massive maneuver you want to use against Baiken. Just having Little Eddie out will prevent Baiken from doing guard cancels, because it's just going to hit Little Eddie, and then you can easily punish Baiken for it. So FeelAFear ends up taking it 2-0. And we'll see what we can do here for our next game. Let's take a look at the brackets here, and I'll pull up the next game. All right, we're good to go with Isaac and Skeletal Minion. Alright, IsaacJ on the left, Skeletal Minion on the right. Like I said, it's just really great to see Skeletal Minion join. This is his first time joining our tournaments. If you look at his win ratio, I don't think he's even played like 30 games online yet. So he's just kind of started recently. But like I said too, if you're interested in watching more Skeletal Minion, there is an awesome community with him. So he has not set up his blood pack yet. He's working on it. But Isaac's not letting him. Being very oppressive. Do not let them transform. Nice setup there. End up doing a command grab to get started there. So you see him stuck in the corner. Nice combos there. Oh, dropped a little bit of it. Probably online stuff. That ended up hitting Goku Maroha transformation. You don't see that going on too much. Goku Maroha transformation's already halfway done. So, pretty powerful there. My roommate here is decided to do dishes, so you can hear all the clanking of metal while we're playing, but that's okay. Isaac ends up doing a kill with a throw, taking the first game there, 1-0. What? He's clanging even more metal now. Like, oh, you're doing a tournament. Let me do the dishes today. Isaac taking the first game. Skeletal Minion coming in now. Let's see what we can do here. It's like, hold on, let me vacuum in the streaming room while you're streaming, right? Nice counter hit there. Not knocking down Abba. I think you could have gone out for a knockdown there. Knockdowns are almost more powerful than damage against Abba. Because you do a knockdown and you Roman cancel into an IK transformation, you can just go straight into instant kill during Abba's stun ability. So look how much health Abba has. Very little. Transforming, getting a little bit of it back, but didn't have too much to begin with from before. And that's going to kill. IsaacJ is one round away from maybe taking this. Again, I get the feeling Skeletal just does not have that online experience. It's so different playing online, especially a game that's as tight on its inputs as Plus R is. Playing online with just an extra 3 frames of lag, for example, it can just throw you off completely, and so that's kind of something you have to deal with. Good blocks that whole way through. Trying to transform, not able to do it. Oh, just on the last pixel of that meter. And could be going for some extra stuff here. You could see Skeletal just getting a little bit more of that familiarity now and doing a full combo, but still not quite able to close that gap. And IsaacJ ends up taking it 2-0. All right, guys, give me 2 minutes. We're going to be starting top 4. I'm just going to get some more things to drink and stuff like that, and we'll be starting in just a moment.